Alright, this is it. I'm gonna check my statistics on the YouTube, and today I will land on which video I am making next. Well, 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 Armstrong, how about that? Things are going so good, isn't it time to do something bad? Now, Armstrong, you don't want to scare them away. According to those statistics, most of your viewers right now are German. I think you know what we have to do. Oh, Armstrong, these people have welcomed you, given you compliments, and much useful information. You know, sabotage yourself, just like you do in your romantic relationships. Most seem like kind, decent folk. They've been saying things like, you're being too nice, you paint too pretty a picture of Germany. Surely they want another video telling them just how wonderful everything is. Go on, why don't you just tell them what drives you crazy here in Germany? Wow, that's it, y'all drive me crazy. I know what I gotta do. Greetings and salutations. If you're new here and wondering who the heck am I, well, I'm just some American that moved to Germany in 2001, and you've stumbled across my channel where I babble about things that have occurred in my time here, as well as talk about my tumor and other things. The 5 random things that I picked out today, and the things that I say in regards to them, are my own personal opinions, done with a little bit of comedy and not meant to offend anybody. But if I had to bet, the one that's going to offend the most and probably make me lose subscribers is probably going to be number 3. And number 1 is just a real personal pet peeve because of my work history. And in the name of keeping it real with y'all, I have to admit I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to number 2. Because, you see, I spent some time working with and running around with some people that have been guilty of that very offense in this very land. I don't want to name names. And I may or may not have been guilty of it myself. Alcohol is a hell of a drug. With all that said, let's do this. This is 5 totally random things that drive this American crazy here in Germany. Number 1, customer service, or lack thereof. I'll never forget the first time I went to a restaurant for breakfast in Berlin, and after 20-some minutes of patiently waiting, the waitress finally made her way up to our table and said something like, as she chewed her gum, "Was willst du?" And there's this kiosk here in town I used to go to that it used to drive me crazy. You see, I would walk into this kiosk and say, "Ein wunderschönen guten Tag." And the lady behind the counter would respond with, at which point I would ever so politely say, "Ich hätte gern einmal von die Zigaretten, bitte." At which the kiosk lady responded with, €7. Or can we talk about this phenomenon of how many supermarkets, I don't care if they're big or small here in Germany, will have multiple checkout aisles, but somehow only ever have one worker to run one aisle at almost all times. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for someone to kiss my butt and tell me I'm wonderful and just thank me up and down for buying things from them. But as someone that spent 20-some years in sales, I know. I don't know because I had lots of training. I don't know because a book told me. I know, based on my experience, that the way to succeed in sales is to take care of your customers, treat them right, say thank you to them. And I'm just saying, way too often in Germany, I am faced with somebody in a store that appears to hate people, be miserable at the job they're in, and they're taking it out on me as a customer. Like the amount of times I have been in a German business and I felt like I was annoying them for asking them to do their job is appalling. I mean, obviously it's not everybody, but I'm saying this is something I have encountered way too much, Germany. Way too much. If you hate people and you're miserable in your job, don't take a job working with people. And if your boss is a jerk and your pay is shitty, then you go find another job. You don't take it out on the customer. And businesses in general, if you treat your customers right, they will come back, and not just that, they will tell other people. And if you know anything about sales, the most valuable form of advertising is word of mouth. So you want people talking about how great you are, not the way I talk about the grumpy kiosk lady down the road. Number 2, public urination. They got laws against it, but it sure feels like everybody thinks it's okay, especially after a few beers. I'm not just talking about those lovely people that pretty much live around the train station and drink all day long. I mean, of course they're peeing there. Where else would they pee? That's their drinking spot. I'm also talking about the business guy that takes the train to and from work every day, and as he's coming down the steps and getting off, rather than using the €1 toilet over there, he's just going to go out and piss around the corner. I've seen him. I'm talking about the random grandpa that I see in the supermarket parking lot or on the side of the street, or the other day sitting in my living room and a dude right across the street just decided to pee on the front of that building. I see it a little too much. One time at the train station, as I was going up the steps to get to my track, I was faced with a package, and it was peeing in my general direction. Festivals, concerts, all those locations have toilets. Granted, while they are often full, you may have to wait in line or pay €1 to use them. You can be sure that even though those modern facilities are available, you will see 1 or 2 people pissing on the side of the building or in the corner. You will see it. It will happen. My local city acknowledged there was such a problem with public urination that right around the corner from me on a center square, they actually put one of those little stand-up urinals, that guys can just walk up to, take their junk out and pee in. I don't know what the women that like to get drunk out in public are supposed to do. I guess they don't matter, huh? And yeah, like I said, they got laws against it, but I have seen cops walk right past by it like it's just nothing. Granted, there were other things going on, and the cops probably had other things to pay attention to, but just throwing that out there. Like, for example, coming out of the train station, I happened to make the mistake of walking through it at the wrong time when a lot of people are trying to get to a soccer game, and you come out and there's lines of police officers. But what you'll also find, what I found, is when I turned this way because I wanted to go into the supermarket, this whole wall was just lined up with guys just standing there. Cops, nobody looks twice. This is normal. I mean, alcohol is a big part of this culture, and if you're gonna put those public urinals, if you're gonna acknowledge that, maybe you should put a few more out, like everywhere. And also, think of the women. Women drink too. Me, not so much anymore, but I sure as heck used to. And it's quite frustrating that in this country it seems to be acceptable for a man to whip his junk out in public and just start spewing his wastewater on everything, but I have to go find somewhere to hide. And pay. I get to pay while they get it for free. Supplied by the city around the corner from me. As I mentioned in the beginning, I spent some time working with some people where, let's just say that sometimes, well, all the time, alcohol was involved, and sometimes, how do I put this, urine came into the act. Alcohol is a hell of a drug. Since I don't do that job anymore, I really like a clean atmosphere around me. I appreciate a clean atmosphere. I appreciate a clean bathroom. I appreciate not having urine on my feet because I went outside or took a train. Just saying, y'all got toilets, use them. And if it's against the law, then why don't the police act on it? Like, literally every fest, I found myself waiting with my legs pressed together to eventually get into a toilet. And I see some men waiting, but I see a whole buttload of them going over there. And nobody cares as they pee on the wall. That's all I'm saying. Number 3, soccer fans. Look, I know it's your national sport, and I know A lot of you love it and are really passionate about it. Oh, boy, do I know that. But what I also know is that at my last job, to get to and from work, I had to go through the train station, sometimes take the train, sometimes just cut through it because it would be quicker. And it got to a point where I learned I cannot go anywhere near the train station anytime that there is a soccer game. Literally, I refuse to go near trains, train station, buses, public transportation anytime there is a soccer game. Seems to me anytime that there's a soccer game and there is a large posse of fans on their way to or from said soccer game, well, a lot of things are going to happen. Like I said at number 2, you will see a lot of penises getting whipped out and randomly peeing on random buildings, trees, bushes, even cars, benches. I've seen it all. And as much as that does drive me crazy, it doesn't drive me crazy as the amount of racist and nationalistic screaming and yelling like rabid gorillas that I've heard every time I've had the unfortunate chance of getting caught in one of these crowds at the freaking train station. And can someone explain to me how they're all such big drinkers, but somehow they can't hold their drink? I'm saying if you have the unfortunate circumstance of getting on a bus or a train full of these soccer fans here in Germany, I hope that you do not wear good shoes or good clothes, because I guarantee you, you will not leave that public transportation without any beer on at least your shoes, and if not your outfit, because there'll be bottles rolling around, it will be spilled everywhere, it will get on you. Alcohol is a hell of a drug. Yes, I have German friends that are fans of that sport. They know my feelings. And just like in everything in my life, I know you cannot say all are bad because of a few racist gorillas that can't hold their liquor and like to pee everywhere. But what I'm saying, if I get stuck in a crowd of soccer fans, it's gonna drive me crazy. Because every time it's happened, it's driven me freaking crazy. Number 4, a little something I like to call the alcohol/grabby hands paradox. Listen, people getting a little bit of buzz from drinking some alcohol or even drunk and getting a little lovey, even a little grabby, even a little kissy huggy is not exclusive to Germany. I know this. You know, we all have those, oh, I love you, man moments. I admit myself in my younger days, I too may have been guilty of a little bit of the grabby hands when drunk. Alcohol is a hell of a drug. Something I found strange here that happened to me a few times was this situation, talking that in regards to, like, for example, in the beginning when I was attempting to go to as many fests and learn all about this culture as I could. I'm talking about the guy that would normally never greet you on the street or have a word to say to you, getting really drunk, and suddenly he feels it's okay to grab your butt or try to stick his tongue down your throat, or even just stop in the middle of the road and not let you out and try to jump over on top of you. All those things happen to me. Like, I'm a friendly person generally, and I will talk to anybody. I don't care really what you look like. I'll give you a chance and talk to you. It's generally how I am, especially if it's in an atmosphere where we're drinking a couple beers. But you know what I mean. I'm talking about this guy that thinks he's better than you. Maybe he's a lawyer, maybe he's a doctor, maybe he's just a jerk, you know? But the guy that would normally never give you the time of day, I've seen it over and over and over, where this guy that is straight-laced round the clock all year long, like once a year goes out to whatever the big fest of his region is, maybe it's carnival, and suddenly that's the guy that's trying to like stick his tongue down random women's throats and is suddenly Mr. Sociable, but in a really wrong way. When it first happened to me with this lawyer in the town I lived in, found it really kind of strange. Like, it's sort of like, I thought I knew what type of guys to look out for. But now that I've been here for like 19 years and it's happened more than a few times and I just don't go to fests anymore. I think I can safely say it drives me crazy. Maybe don't be so uptight all year long. Maybe let loose little bits throughout the years and not just once a year, and you won't go like full rapist is all I'm saying. Number 5, paperwork. Germans love paperwork. This is the paperwork I just got today, where I was informed I'm going to go on a little rehabilitation trip. But first, I get to fill out some more forms with some data I've already written in, like name and address. But that doesn't matter because they need it on another piece of paper. And this is my current chaos with another government office right now. That's this pile. And this pile is, yeah, insurance and doctor note stuff. And all of those binders you saw at the beginning. That's just the tip of the iceberg. In moments of frustration in government offices, I have been quoted as saying, "The Germans are responsible for the destruction of the Amazonian rainforest." I don't think that's true, but man, the amount of paperwork really drives me crazy. Like, you have to bring, well, at least I find when I have an appointment at a government office, I'm going to have to bring like at least 2 of those binders, and I'm always going to forget something, and they're going to give me 20 new forms, and these forms, half the time, half of the data I'm filling out, like I feel like I already gave it to them, or what I assume was something they would communicate with, like another government office. No! I've tried informing them about this new invention called a computer and a hard drive where you don't need paper at all. Like, once you tip in the name, it saves it. And it can be, used again on other forms that you can do electronically. When you visit a doctor or a specialist like the first time, I'm pretty sure when I hand them my insurance card that gives them at least my name, birth date, and address, at least. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that. But still, if it's your first time there, you're going to get a form, and at least 3 of those forms, it's going to ask your name, your address, your birth date. I'm just saying, if you're not from Germany and you're coming to Germany, somebody should prepare you. They love paperwork, and they will have paperwork for more paperwork. And when you finish filling out this paperwork, that will determine which other paperwork you have to fill out. And make sure you bring plenty of your own paperwork, because paperwork, bureaucracy is a hell of a drug. The amount of paperwork one does in this country and that is needed and that I collect and I have to bring with me drives me crazy. Yeah, I think that's going to be the video for today. Those 5 random things that drive me crazy. I've got more. If you click like, I'll bring you some more in the future. But generally, if you are still watching here and you haven't unsubscribed to me and you don't hate me yet, thank you. Thank you. I'm working on a bunch more things over here, so I hope to be shooting another video at you soon. Until that comes, take care of yourself.